Russian-backed militants amplified their fire at the Donbas front. Ukraine's ATO headquarters has reported about 47 attacks overnight. One Ukrainian soldier was killed, another 9 were injured, along with 8 others with head concussions. Ukraine's armed forces repelled an attack on Svitlodarsk. The aim of militants was to push away Ukrainian forces from their positions in that area. The most intensive shelling occurred in the direction of Mariupol. Separatists used artillery to fire Vodyane, mortars against Ukrainian army positions near Novotroitske, Mar'inka and Talakivka. Shirokino was offended with tanks and armored personnel carrier weapons. Russian proxies pounded artillery systems and mortars into Avdiivka from the side of occupied Donetsk. Enemy sniper operated in the direction of Stanitsa Luhanska. A death toll at the Berlin Christmas market attack has risen to 12 people. About 50 got injured. Yesterday evening, a truck drove into the crowd at the outer Christmas market in the center of Berlin. The driver tried to escape, but later was arrested by police. The preliminary investigation results presume the attack was deliberate. Police states the lorry was intentionally directed into people. The German Chancellor Angela Merkel has called on to assume that the deadly truck attack was a terrorist attack, the Deutsche Welle reports on Tuesday. First rescuers saw a lot of wounded people, probably also dead. It was confirmed later. Some were in a very bad condition. We were reanimating people at the spot to save their lives. The truck is registered in Poland and was probably stolen. Police are checking this fact. There were 2 people in the cabin. One was found dead. He bore Polish citizenship. The driver was caught 2 hours after the attack. According to preliminary information, he is Pakistani, aged 23, who might be a refugee in Germany since February 2016. German newspaper Die Welt has just reported, referring to its own sources, that police may have arrested a wronged man. A real criminal is still at liberty. On December the 19th, the United Nations General Assembly voted for a resolution on human rights in Crimea titled Situation of Human Rights in the Autonomous Republic of Crimea and the City of Sevastopol. 70 UN member states backed the documents, 77 abstained and 26 voted against it. The resolution was initiated by Ukraine with a view to preventing repressions against the Crimean Tatars and monitoring the human rights situation in Russia-annexed peninsula. It also urges Russia to immediately release Ukrainian citizens who were unlawfully detained and judged without regard for elementary standards of justice, as well as those transferred across internationally recognized borders from Crimea to the Russian Federation. Today in Warsaw, there is a meeting of the leaders of parliamentary parties. They will try to find a common solution to the political crisis in the country. The Polish Sejm is barricaded today from the early morning, 2 rows of fencing. Police made the protesters move further away from the building, reasoning that their gathering was unlawful. Police came to us and said this is an emergency road, we must free it. They moved us, but didn't arrest. At the moment, the Sejm is under reinforced police cordon, and for the first time since Friday, journalists will be allowed into the parliament. Opposition forces insist that the ruling party and the Sejm Marshal committed a crime adopting the budget and a range of other laws overnight into Saturday outside the session hall in a separate room of the Sejm. At that time, the opposition was blocking the rostrum, demanding free access for journalists into parliament. The opposition calls upon the prosecutor to investigate the case.
Christmas postcards for Ukrainian soldiers on the front line. At the military hospital in Kiev, medics, wounded soldiers and volunteers have written their greetings to the ATO fighters and children living on the cities near the front line. The postcards themselves were provided complimentary from the manufacturer. Several thousand Christmas cards have been prepared. Some of them were also signed by school children. The campaign organisers say this year they managed to collect way more cards than last time, and added that postcard receivers are extremely happy they are not forgotten.
The main thing is peace and patience to our soldiers, and to return home safely and with victory.
Another group of volunteers from the city of Sastanavna in western Ukraine have been supporting Ukrainian soldiers for at least 2 years, and they are not going to stop now. For this year's St. Nicholas Day, they decided to present the men on the front line a stunning variety of homemade food and other goodies. The volunteers are sure that unless our defenders are hungry, only then they will get victory over the enemy faster. As well as the food, they collected a couple of bags of warm clothes.
From the very beginning, there were only 6 women helping. Now there are plenty of us. For the past 2 years, we've cooked 80 pigs, fed our defenders with tons of food. I even have no idea how much exactly.
It will be the 23rd ride to the war zone. Though the war is tiring both for soldiers and volunteers, the latter promise to help the men in Donbass till the victorious end.
Він як на льоду сидів, так він до льоду і примов. Акуратно, бо може стукнути. Вони б'ють. Ванька, ти опускаєш, що це вони можуть б'ють. Я йому зробив там таке стук. Це його подруга. Ну не сичі, не сичі, не сичі. Пожалуйста, щоб він влетів, може його крила. Ну їх було, така вже. Там воду було правда. Вона до самого ранку, вона заносила мертвих, а ти дитину. Тому що вона зараз... Ванька, вона подойде і візьме. Вона там сидить. Просто жалко, що...
Welcome to Ukraine Today. My name is Teresh Chechkal. Right now I'm going to talk to Alexander Datlok. He is a co-founder of energy-saving startup Eco-Is-Me. As a result of Dubai Future Accelerator program, they were selected to implement their idea in the city to reduce electricity consumption. Alexander, hello, it's a great pleasure to have you here.
Hello.
So first of all, congrats to you and your team that you got the invite from Dubai authorities to implement your idea. But at the same time, don't you have any regrets that this idea will be firstly implemented in Dubai but not in Ukraine, that the Ukrainian government didn't offer this financial opportunity to realize your idea?
Actually, with our team, we are looking at different opportunities, including Ukraine. So basically, we'll also implement it in Ukraine to the customers who are ready to buy Eco-Is-Me and who are ready to start to save energy. And we see the good potential in the Middle East market as well in the Europe and in the US. So we look on variety of opportunity that are available now.
But if you look at this as the government-sponsored initiative in the United Arab Emirates, so is such thing possible in Ukraine, that the Ukrainian government would be that interested in financing IT ideas here in Ukraine?
I think like it's this time is coming. I mean, when government is interested, and we see that the tariffs in Ukraine start to increase, and it's the first thing to cut the subsidies, because in Ukraine the last time people don't take care about energy saving. The electricity prices was so low that it didn't make sense, but now it's started to increase, and the price for electricity start to be like a market price, and afterwards we see that there will be also good potential here in Ukraine for the energy saving.
Your estimates, in what perspective would Ukraine pay more attention to energy efficiency in the country? So it's already a very important topic right now for saving energy in Ukraine, but it's still in the very beginning. It's just at the very beginning point. So what time will it take to actually spend more time and more efforts on that?
So one of the first things which is important for Ukrainian energy market is to make it open market. I know that in the parliament there is already some of the laws about making the Ukrainian energy market an open market, and also it's cutting subsidies, because when people pay the market price for electricity, they start to take care of how much they spend, and they start to calculate how to find the ways to spend less money for electricity.
So you got this offer from Dubai authorities to implement the idea of reducing electricity consumption in Dubai. So is this goal achievable actually to reach energy efficiency there?
Yeah, we see a good potential in the Dubai market, and basically in Dubai they are very interested to reduce the energy usage and like to optimize the grid. So they have one of the problems which they have, it's increasing of the population in Dubai. So Dubai is basically one of the most fast-growing cities in the world, and they predict that until 2030 the population will double. So that's why Dubai and Electricity and Water Authority will spend a lot of money on the infrastructure. And with EcoSME, we help them to optimize the existing infrastructure. And from the other side, they also, one of the initiatives is to reduce the energy usage by 2030 on the 30%. And with EcoSME, we also help them to do this because people who use EcoSME, they save up to 15% monthly.
Did they pose any conditions, as for example, to reduce energy consumption, but at the same time to save the profits of electricity providers? So was it one of the conditions put forward to you?
So basically, Dubai Electricity and Water Authority, however, although it's a government entity, but they act as a company. So basically, they're interested in the increasing of their revenue. So that's why, like, with this information which we provide them, this information helps them to optimize the grid and decrease their expenses on the infrastructure. So that's why, like, although we'll decrease the amount of energy which people use, but at the same time we shift the peak load, we optimize the grid, and in fact it's increasing of the revenue for Dubai Electricity and Water Authority.
Mm-hmm. Let's clarify to our viewers what is EcoSME. So how it started?
So EcoSME is a home energy monitoring system. It's basically one sensor which we install in the fuse box. The sensor will track the energy usage, and then based on this we can detect all the major appliances in the home. So we can show to the customers which devices are used, how these devices are efficient or not efficient. We can provide different tips how to improve the energy usage. So this is a core idea of EcoSME.
So can we say that each device in the house is actually connected somehow to this device, EcoSME, and it gives that data on energy consumption?
So basically, EcoSME sensor is not connected to any device, but we analyze patterns of the energy usage. Because every device has some specific pattern, specific signature of the energy usage. So we analyze different characteristics of the electrical network, we analyze total power usage, and based on this, we can detect the devices based on their patterns of the energy usage.
So how many years have you been working on this idea? So in 2016, you actually come up with the idea, and Dubai already offered you to implement it.
So the EcoSME started in the end of 2013 as an idea, but we started to work full-time on the product from the middle of 2014. So it was the time when we got our first investments from Deutsche Telekom in Poland. So and from that time we started to work full-time on it. So basically it's like 2.5 years of full-time work.
The time of implementing EcoSME in Dubai, so is there any deadline or specific time within which you have to actually do that?
So the pilot, it's designed to be 3 months. So basically planning to start it in the end of February, and then like it will take 3 months for the whole pilot, and then they will review the results, and afterwards we agree with them about the next steps of implementation.
It's a very good point, the point that very optimistic to finish at. And Alexander, thank you for finding time to join us right now. And I wish you good luck with your project and the project your team is engaged in. And I hope that the first results in 3 months we'll discuss together. And the viewers of Ukraine Today will be the first who will see it and witness that. So thank you and good luck again.
Thank you, Taras.
Alexander Dadlo, co-founder of energy-saving startup EcoSME, joined Ukraine Today to talk about the project itself and the energy-saving technologies, not only in Ukraine but in Dubai as well. My name is Teres Chechko. Thank you for watching Ukraine Today.
Watch the birth of a new nation online at uatoday.tv.